peaceful out here.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Meech from the Midwest podcast. I got a nice lineup for you. If you haven't saw it already on my social media platforms, let's get into the lineup. I want to thank y'all for tuning in each and every week, Friday morning, checking this out over the weekend. Whenever you get a chance to check it out, I just want to bring y'all the topics that's been going around lately, the latest in the news, TV shows, movies, music, um, anything that I could think of that pops up that's trending at the moment. We're gonna talk about it on the Mechee from the Midwest podcast. If you ever want to be a guest on here, you know where to find me at. Get on any of my platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Jump in my DMs, jump in the comments, and let me know you want to be a guest, and we'll set something up one of these Thursday night. But without further ado, let's get into the lineup for tonight. Tonight, we're going to get into the UFC Fight Night results over the week. I think we're going to start there. PBC boxing card results. We're going to get into the Deontay Wilder versus Derek Chisora fight going down Saturday night. WrestleMania card update. What it's looking like right now. And I think it's like maybe 12 fights, and it's a lot more room. Maybe like three or four more fights possibly to make this card. Um, the verses between Tank and Tyrese. We'll get into those results. I really wish I would have did it a little bit earlier because everybody got their jokes on and stuff. I had some good stuff for that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Kanye West dropped the album. I know everybody been off the hype train with Kanye. I have too, but I gave the album a listen, and it was cool. So we'll get into my favorite 5 tracks out there, and then the last thing I want to talk about is a TV show right now that's out on they're streaming. I think it's like 3 different shows it's talking about. One is Dr. Phil, America's Top Model, and the one that we're going to discuss today is The Price is Right. One of my favorite shows as a kid. I used to watch it with my auntie and my grandma. Um, Everybody's seen Price is Right. I know it's still going. I think Drew Carey is on there or something like that. But it's one of those shows that everybody watch. We just didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. We'll get to that because we definitely gonna talk about that. I got a lot of shit to say about that situation. But let's get into the UFC to start it off. Oh man, what a week. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Damn, I went 3 for 3. No, damn. I didn't go 3 for 3. I went 2 for 4 on this card. This was nasty, man. But it was some of the stuff I expected. I think I'm pretty sure I talked about on the last episode. Starting with the main card, Kyle Nelson versus Terrence McKinney. I told my brother came over here to watch a couple of fights with me, and I told him when McKinney fight, it's either he gonna knock you out within the first minute or two, or he's gonna get knocked the hell out in the first minute or two. And it was probably 40 seconds in this fight. I think he punched dude up a little bit, and let me see. I want to see how many strikes he actually had. McKinney ended up he only hit him 15 times. 15 times he caught him with a kick as well, and the fight was over with. The fight lasted damn 30 34 second fight. He was on no dude as Nelson wasn't able to recover after he punched him in his nose. He kicked him in the nose and just got the punching. But like I said, it was 15 shots and it put him down. So salute to him. He did his thing in that fight. Like I said, he's just one of those fights that's just coming out there. He's over aggressive. That can win you a lot of fights, but it can also lose you a lot of fights. But he got the dub. Next was Abdul Malik versus Belagori. Belagori won by knockout. I thought Abdullah being undefeated at the time, I thought that he'd be able to put more pressure on this cat. Obviously, I wasn't too aware of Buddy's work, and he just couldn't keep up with him. He looked like he had a little too much muscle on him, and it slowed him down a bit. He couldn't figure out the answer for this. It went. They lost. He lost by knockout. He only landed 16 total punches. Belligorio landed 107 strikes. So 107 to 16. He dropped him twice. It was 3 takedowns in this fight. Easy win. Julian DeRosa versus Lyrian Douglas. This fight was in the first round. Rosa had 18 strikes. Douglas came away with 30 strikes. I think I picked Rosa to win this one, maybe. Douglas beat the hell out of him. This was another one that he just beat the cowboy shit out of him. Easy win for him. I'm gonna have to start watching him because I like fighters like that. They got a lot of power that can just shows like you just way out of their league if he touch you a couple times. Pause. Next fight, I didn't know that. I went for Nico Price because I feel like he'd be over aggressive and try to choke Mechee out. But this was both of their last fight. Both of them said they were retiring at the fight. Michael Chiesa was a bigger draw out of the two, and Chiesa went out there, pieced him up a little bit. Well, damn, he didn't say he didn't even hit him. He went for a punch, I think, and he faked it and got a takedown, and he ended up choking him out. They had a little video package for him after saying like, "Thank you for being in the UFC and all that stuff." And what what went wrong with this was that Nico Price announced that he was retiring to this fight, and he was going to put his gloves down. He thought he was going to get a little bit of a couple of minutes on the mic to say like, "I love the UFC. Thank y'all for the opportunity and stuff." And they never did it. They just let Mike Chiesa pop his stuff, and it was over with. Now, I'm not saying that Nico deserves it, but then if you got two fighters that's been around for quite some time in your organization, let them both at least get to say something. I didn't get the dub. I want to thank y'all for tuning into my fight. Y'all got me paid, put money in my pocket. They ain't let them do none of that. So I don't know if it was like some hidden agenda behind that. But Mike Chiesa pulled off the win. Salute to him and great job winning before you retire because I was scared for him. I thought Nico was going to get on his ass real early. He just couldn't get his hands on him. Alexia Gracio versus Macy Barber. This was a fight I said that I wanted Gracio to win. I wanted to choke her out because Barber just don't know how to take a loss from what I've seen. And I just don't like her fighting style. It's like she comes off a little bit annoying. Gracio got on her ass, punched her up, dropped her. And when she dropped her, she was already knocked out, but she didn't know because the way she was sitting up, it looked like she was still like trying to recover. So Gracio laid down, choked her out. Well, pretty much as soon as she put her in the chokehold, she was out there and she was just laying there with her eyes open like she was dead or some shit. But this was a very quick fight. I think this was like that was 42-second fight, first round. She landed 12 strikes. Barber only landed 5. I don't think Barber was prepared for that. I don't think she knew that Gracio was that fast. She just way faster on it with them hands. She put it on her quick, got her up out of there. So salute to Gracio for pulling off the win, keeping her into tighter contention. Main event of the evening, another disturbing, annoying loss. Stylebender loses to Joe Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer landed 52 strikes. Stylebender landed 58 strikes. Joe Pfeiffer had 2 takedowns. This was what I said when I even mentioned this fight because I'm rocking with Stylebender, but I mentioned he has no takedown game. If you don't have a takedown game, if you're just fighting all brawlers and then they put you up against a striker, somebody that can take you down, you have to find a way to defend that if you're going to have the belt because somebody in that division knows how that uses wrestling as a background. It's going to be strong at taking down, and that's what Pfeiffer did. He found it each time he went for the takedown, he was basically able to get him down. And once he do that, he was able to punch on Stylebender. Even when they were standing up with the exchange on the hands, Pfeiffer's punches was hitting Stylebender even harder. It's like Stylebender just then got stiff all of a sudden. He don't know how to dodge a punch. At first, he was more animated, moving out the way, dodging punches. Now he's not doing none of that. He's just standing right there on line, letting you just punch him in his face. I guess like sometimes I feel like he's untouchable. I know he talks a lot of shit. He usually backs it up, but this wasn't one of those fights, man. Pfeiffer said like this was he almost took his life a while ago, and UFC saved his life. Getting this fight, getting this win, it meant something to him. Stylebender, I believe, like I said, he's been in the UFC for a little bit of time. He started fighting the big dogs, and once he started beating all the big dogs, he took some bad losses, and now this is like 5 or 6 losses he had in the last 2 or 3 years. It's just no good. He's coming off as a pushover now. Everybody wants to fight Stylebender because they're like, well, if I got more power to him or if I could take him down, I'm going to win the fight. And they won't be wrong. Stylebender just can't get out of his own way, man. I don't know why he's not training to avoid the takedowns, or he don't realize that maybe he needs to go back down in weight because he's just not a strong enough to be in that division. But overall, man, salute to Joe Pyfer for winning the match. Stylebender said he ain't going nowhere. He's staying in the division. Even when he lose, he win. Like, I don't be trying to hear that shit, dog. Go for the dub. If you're not gonna win, get the hell out of UFC, man. Go to bare knuckle or something. If you go to bare knuckle, you ain't gotta worry about nobody taking you down. It's straight jabs and uppercuts. So overall, it was a solid card. I enjoyed it, man. I just was hoping Stylebender was gonna get right back on path because he was talking like he was, and he just wasn't able to do it. So that's all I got for UFC, man. If you're a UFC fan, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel for your latest MMA updates. We will be right back in a second to get into this boxing card going down this week.
Wilder looking for the knockout this weekend. Make sure you tune in. You don't want to miss this.
All right, y'all, let's get into this boxing. PBC had, I want to give y'all the result of the co-main event and the main event. What was the buddy name? Tellez versus Mendoza. This was the fight I was saying that was going to set up. Maybe the winner would be able to fight Fondora or Keith Thurman for the belt. And Mendoza, I thought Mendoza was going to win. He was going to be out to prove something. He landed a headbutt earlier in the fight to Tellez nose or something like that, and for a minute it looked like he wasn't going to be able to continue, but they was able to doctor it up and get him back out to the fight, and he pretty much washed Mendoza. I think Mendoza won maybe 2 rounds. I think it was out of 10 rounds. I think they did a 10 rounder. If it was a 10 rounder or a 12 rounder, he only run maybe 2 or 3 rounds to me. He just didn't look good. It felt like, and I'm not saying that he's a fluke versus Fondora, but now it looks more like he's a fluke, because if you can't beat this guy, you can't keep on calling out the top dog like you can destroy him. This was the perfect dude for you to beat, to prove your point and make your call out and make it to justify that you deserve this fight. And he just wasn't able to do that, man. Tellez was on his ass, walked him down for the most part. He got landed the harder shots. At one point, Mendoza's game plan was to go to the body. Tellez was able to readjust and just start landing more face shots and doing more damage. And the refs leaned to the person that was more damaged. They got the more damage in, and that was Tellez. So salute to him. I won't say that he's ready for the main event, but he looked pretty good outside of that head. But way to recover and get the win. Now, for the main event of the evening, we had Keith Thurman, one-time Thurman, versus Sebastian Fondora, and this was a shutout. It's a saying, you gonna write a check. You can write a check, but your ass gotta cash it. And Thurman had to pay the piper, man. He talked so much shit going into this fight, talking about how he's fought people big as Fondora, how he's not ready for the spotlight and all this type of stuff. And he pretty much got washed for, I want to say, 6 rounds. Thurman didn't look good in not one round. It felt like every time he felt like he had to overextend for his punches, because he's having to jump up in the air. He got to jump 10 feet in the air to land a punch on Fondora. I thought, like, with somebody being smaller like that, they would just aim for the body, work down the body, and bring them down to your size. But I'm no boxer. I'm no trainer. But that's what I would think in the boxing arena, what they be doing. But he felt comfortable in his power that if I could land a punch on his chin or on the top of his head, that I can break him down that way. And it just wasn't working. Fondora felt the trouble after a while with Keith Thurman. And once he put the pressure on him, it was just like Thurman had to run. Like, he had to get up out that situation. He just couldn't get out of there. And they called the fight a knockout. After the fight, this dude gets up there and says that the ref that did that fight should not be in any championship fights, because you're supposed to let somebody fight to the end and stuff like that. And it's like, dog, this dude looked like a light-skinned raccoon. I'm talking about both eyes just gone. My man could barely see. He couldn't see a damn thing. He saved your life, dog. He saved you from dying in that ring. Fondora, it would have only got worse for him. Like I said, Thurman, both of his eyes was almost pretty much shut. These wasn't no headbutts, no elbows, or nothing. These just straight punches right to your damn eye socket. And you just have to be able to say, you know what? this was a tall task, literally a tall task. He's hard to beat, man. He's a young, talented kid. You just have to find out a game plan that's going to work. I think Mendoza got lucky with that one because he caught him in the caught him low and then hit him up top, and that was because Fondor dropped his guard when they did fight. But Thurman felt like he could do the same things because he's been at a higher at a higher ranking and a higher position that it would work out that way, and it just simply didn't, man. So salute to Fondor for winning the match. I really hope Thurman stick around. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Errol Spence fight because Thurman, he's not as active, and my boy Spence ain't active. This would be the perfect fight for Spence to come back to. I think it's still a money draw. It'll be a solid fight for both of these cats. But as far as Thurman go, man, you got to let it go, dog. Just say that you lost the fight. Don't get up there talking crazy, talking about something. You had a chance. You had no chance to win that fight. You didn't win a single round. You got outlanded by punches every single round. It was going to be close curtain regardless. He saved you from an early grave. As far as that card go, that's all I have for the PBC card. Let's get into the DAZN boxing card. I'm just going to give y'all the main event of the evening because that's all I'm going to be tuning in for. And I know if you follow my page, man, I've told y'all several times, Deontay Wilder is one of my favorite heavyweights just because of the knockout power. I love fighters that go for the knockout, and it may put fear in the other fighter. And after the Tyson Fury fights, after he lost those Tyson Fury fights, he hasn't been the same. Everybody he's came across, he's pretty much got destroyed by, outside of maybe one dude. And I think that was that last fight he fought some cat up in a ballroom. And Buddy was landing punches on him too. Like, this wasn't even televised. But he was in the ballroom fighting somebody. And it was like, dog, they got my boy fighting backstage in the club or something. I don't know where they even had him at. He's not at a real venue. Now they got him back in the spotlight going against Derek Chisora. Their records are, let me see, Wilder is 44-4-1 with 43 knockouts. Still very impressive. Chisora is 42 years old. He is 36-13 with 23 knockouts. He's on a win streak. He just beat Joy Joyce and Otto Wayland. Wilder is on a 1-4 run his last 5 fights, from dating back from 2020 to 2024. They didn't even include the little ballroom fight. He lost to Big Bang Zane, Joseph Parker, and Tyson Fury within that 4-year span. These last 2 years, I think he fought one cat, and that was the one I said that I mentioned he fought in the backyard somewhere. As far as this fight go, if I had to make a prediction, man, I'm still going with Wilder because I feel like he's the bigger fighter. He could throw bigger punches because Derek Chisora is looking for that. He's going to put that pressure on him, so it could go bad for Wilder. If Chisora is able to put him in the corner, Wilder doesn't have the boxing techniques to know how to roll and get up out that situation. Sometimes he just stand there and take the punches, and Derek Chisora is a heavy-handed puncher. If he tag him back-to-back punches, if he put any type of combo together, Wilder is going to sleep. He's going to wake up talking crazy. That brings me to my next point. I said I'm going for Wilder. Let me make it clear. I'm going for Wilder. Chisora, this is his retirement fight. So he's going to be looking for like, hey, I ain't got nothing else left to give. I'm going for the knockout. So it could go either way, of course, in boxing, but I'm going Wilder. My concern is this interview I just saw. He was sitting down with this young lady, and they were talking. They were supposed to be talking about the fight, and it went from talking about the fight to how slavery was, what black people been through, and what other race have been through, and how his name means this, and how their name doesn't mean this. It's like he was all over the place. It's like, dog, I understand the message you're trying to push, but you need to focus. If you're going to be a boxer, if you're trying to make your run back to being a championship, like you said, and that you're saying that you're way better than you was these last previous fights, you have to focus. Save that for after and talk about it then. Not trying to dismiss anything he was talking about because he was saying some good stuff. I just felt like it was more of a coming from a CTE type of situation, as if he done had too many punches to the head, man, because he got very emotional. He got the crying and stuff like that. And you could just tell he's been through some stuff, but I think in his mind, he forgets that, hey, I can't speak like Ali. Ali was able to talk this because he was backing it up. Wilder, if you're going to push all these messages, you have to put does behind it. You can't be going out here getting your head knocked off by everybody that's coming to fight you and then get on here talking about world peace. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Put these up and fight, bro. So, like I said, I'm going for Deontay Wilder to win this fight by knockout. I'll say about round. It's gonna have to be early. It's gonna have to be round 3 or 4 because if the longer the fight goes, Chisora just gonna be throwing heavy punches. I think like the main thing is with Wilder is he can catch in between the punches because Chisora throws kind of slow. Wilder should be able to see them coming and be able to hit him with a combo and knock him out and get him up out of there and send him off on a retirement that way. But as far as the fight goes, man, I'm going Deontay Wilder to win this. If Wilder loses this fight, I've been seeing it for quite some time. He just need to retire. Take the money, take your ball, and go home. Even his OG told him that he need to retire. He ain't got nothing else to prove. But you can't tell a fighter, you can't tell a man when to stop fighting for what he believe in. So that's all I got for boxing, man. Make sure y'all tune in this week on DAZN between the fight, the retirement fight for Derek Chisora, 42 years old, legend in the boxing and heavyweight division, versus another legend, Deontay Wilder, going for his 44th knockout. That's all I got for boxing. Stick around and let's get into a couple more topics that I got on here. Let's get into we'll get into WrestleMania next.
Folks, the card is going to be absolutely lit tonight. WrestleMania season is here, and you can feel it in the air. Look at this championship right in front of me. This is what everybody in that locker room is fighting for. I'm telling you, it's go time. WrestleMania.
So, WrestleMania is right here around the corner. If y'all don't know, you know now. They have been announcing some of the fights that's going down. I just want to get on here and give y'all an update on the fights and what I think about it so far. I don't really want to do no predictions yet, so I'll wait till get closer to it when the whole card is official. But let's get into it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Mechee for the Midwest podcast for your latest WWE updates. First fight, we got McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. That should be a pretty good one. Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. That should be good. That's the breakup between the Judgment Day, kicking Finn Balor out for the most part. Women's match, we got tag team. We got the Bella Twins. We got Bayley and Valkyria. We got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And we got Nia Jax and Lash Legend. That's for the tag team belts for the women. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. That's going to be one of them ones right there. Another fight that just got announced, Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Seth was actually supposed to be fighting Braun Breaker. He got injured and had to get surgery. Gunther was actually supposed to be fighting Rey Mysterio. He got injured, so they flipped the script and said, hey, we'll just put two of the top guys against each other. They just got to do a quick build-up before the 15th and 16th. No, 18th and 19th. My bad. I got my days wrong. So that should be a solid fight. Ladder match for the Intercontinental belt. We got Penta putting his belt on the line against Javon Evans, Rusev, Dragon Lee, and who else is McDonough from Judgment Day. That should be a solid one. Always a dope fight when it comes to a ladder match. Intercontinental for the women, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. A rivalry been going on for some years. AJ Lee being back, I think this is her moment to retain and continue to be the champ for a little bit. Announced on Friday, Sami Zayn ended up fighting for the belt. He fought Carmelo Hayes. Nick Aldis told him, hey, you don't have a belt. You're not on the card for WrestleMania. I'm sorry. And Sami said, I'm going out there to prove myself tonight. He ends up winning the belt off Carmelo Hayes due to Trick Williams getting involved in the match. And then they set up the fight. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. That's going to be good. I think Trick is going to pull the win off because they put the rocket on him. He's going straight to the moon right now. Women's belt, we got Stephanie Vaquera versus Liv Morgan. This has been going back and forth. That should be a solid match. The other women's match, we got Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Solid match. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the belt. Two former friends turned enemies. Another one. And then the main event of the evening, we have the best in the world, CM Punk, the champ, versus Roman Reigns, the OTC, the original tribal chief. Right now, this card with 12 fights is stacked. I would actually be okay with that right there, but I know it's going to be a couple more matches. It's a couple of people I can see return. I know Street Profits haven't fought for quite some time. I can see them being on the card. Solo Sikoa and his group, they might get involved. They had them a little match. Who else is it? It's a few more people I can't name off top right now, but this card should be official by next week. That's how usually it goes when it's like a week, maybe 2 weeks left. They end up finalizing the card. But right now, that is the WWE WrestleMania card. Let me know in the comments, out of those 12 fights, what fight are you looking most forward to? Mine right now off top would be Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. I think that's going to be a great match. And I'll say Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams and Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Those three matches right there are going to be my main focus. But I think there's going to be a solid card. With the WrestleMania, I usually watch every single match. That's the biggest fight card of the year when it comes to wrestling. So I'll definitely be tuning into it. Again, WrestleMania going down April 18th and 19th. That is not the official card yet. Something else can change. God forbid that anybody get injured or anything like that. But that's what we got right now for WrestleMania. That's all I got for y'all in the WrestleMania news. Like, share, subscribe to the Mechee for the Midwest podcast. Let's take a quick break and get right back in here and move on to the next subject, which will be music.
I just be rapping, no capping. Check the pod like a mob. I just be rapping, no capping. Check the pod like a mob. Ice.
Okay, y'all, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's get in here and talk about the battle. Everybody already saw it. Versus Tank versus Tyrese. I want to give my opinion on who I thought won and why that person won and what happened with this battle. So, a few key things right here. First off, Tank won the battle. I know I said Tyrese could win because I was thinking that Tyrese would be more performative, that he would perform more. And in this situation, I felt like Tyrese felt like I'm that dude. I don't have to do too much in my song. The crowd knows and stuff. And they really wasn't, the songs wasn't hitting like that. Now, what Tank did was, with him being a R&B artist and a producer, he was able to play the songs he produced as well. Example, Jamie Foxx had a song with him, Do What It Do. He bought Jamie Foxx out. LaToya Luckett did a song. He bought her out. Trey Songz did the remix of one of his songs, When We. He bought him out. He had more features on here. And on top of that, the songs that he didn't do, well, the people that wasn't able to perform, he still played those songs. Example, Marcus Houston, Naked. Omarion, which song was that? Oh, was it O? I think it was O. And then Pleasure P Under. He let some of his homies, some of the people that wrote on the song with him, sing the song for him because obviously he forgot some of the lyrics. So it was really a cheat code. It was really an L for Tyrese coming on top. Tyrese went wrong because he wasn't playing his best songs. To me, I felt like with his newest tape that he just dropped not too long ago, he could have played something off that and people would have known. He played his main songs, which were like about six to eight songs that everybody knows. It was just like the order of it just didn't work. And then another thing that Tyrese went wrong on was that this is what I hate when people say, hey, man, they always want me to perform this song, man, but I ain't did it for so long, so I'm going to just give it to y'all. And he performed two songs that it's like, dog, I've never heard this Tyrese song a day in my life. Now, to a Tyrese fan, I'm a Tyrese fan, but to a fanatic, maybe like, oh, no, yeah, I know this song. It's like, they wasn't hitting like that. You look at the crowd, it was just like super dry. As far as the joking go, Tyrese was trying to keep up, but Tank was funnier than him. He was entertaining the crowd more. Tyrese was doing little crazy stuff like stealing Tank's flowers. He performed. Tank did Aaliyah's song "Can I Come Over?" 'Cause I guess he wrote on there and produced on there. And after the song, Tyrese said, "So you just gonna get up here singing shit don't nobody know?" And it triggered Tank because this was like right off top. And he was like, "Hey, don't get fucked up. You get fucked up about Aaliyah and stuff." So it already started off bad because now you like, how you don't know? Can I come over? Like you don't disrespect somebody that passed away. So Tyrese was just all over the place. He's smoking cigarettes, and on top of that, he had his girl out there. So you getting dog walked by one of your former band members right in front of your girl, and you saying crazy shit. Tank performs When We. He's singing that song, and then Tyree, oh yeah, that's my shit right there. Hey baby, we gonna do something to that. I need my son. I already got two girls. We need to make love to this song. We need to have a baby this song. And then it's like Tank, like, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to be making love to your woman with my song because she gonna get to think about me. He's like, nah. She just like chocolate and stuff. Like his jokes just wasn't sticking how they were supposed to. And then what overall took it over was Tank did a quick freestyle because Tyrese had on all black. He had a turtleneck on, and he switched out outfits maybe 3 or 4 times before he went to the all white. He's wearing black. I think he wore blue at some point, and every time he kept that turtleneck on. And Tank just he caught him with that and did a little turtleneck freestyle, and it went viral. Everybody was doing it. Check my TikTok, you'll see what I'm talking about. And he just lost the crowd, man. Tyrese was hurt, man. I seen he went at Joe Budden because he was mad because Joe Budden gave his opinion on why he felt like Tyrese lost. And then he get to going talking crazy to Joe Budden about it on a podcast, mad because he's Team Tank. It's like, dog, it's music versus music. The winner won, the loser lost. But you didn't bring the energy you're supposed to. Like even with your main songs, like what's the what is it called? Signs of Love Making. He just did a little quick, like y'all gonna get a couple, like eight bars, and that's it. And I'm gonna move on to the next song. It's like, no, I understand y'all got a 3-minute limit, but perform the song, make the crowd get involved. He was trying to wake the crowd up, like Tyrese, is this my house? Y'all make some noise for Tyrese. Like that shit was working okay, but Tank took the crowd. He had the better song selection. It was placed the right way, and he bought the features out for the most part. He just 3 of the features wasn't able to come out, and he was doing had the backup singers backing him up at times when Tyrese went to the back playing and bullshitting while his girl out here. It's like, man, you making a mockery of your girl and you lose in front of your girl. Some shit you just can't do and go back. You can't go home to that, man. Go home and your girl sitting there like, damn, you just got your ass whooped in front of me. That's like getting your ass whooped, like you getting smacked in front of your girl by another cat, man. Like it wasn't cool. But overall, I think this was a solid battle. They should have put Tank against somebody else because clearly Tyrese didn't take it as serious as he should have when it comes to a battle. This was the perfect moment to say, like, I know that we fell out in the group or whatever, but I'm the better artist, and he just simply couldn't do that, man. So shout out to both of them cats, man, both OGs and legends in the game, especially when it comes to R&B. Tank and Tyrese, solid battle. But Tank was clearly the winner on this. Even though I said that Tyrese should be able to pull off the win or keep it close, he just wasn't able to do that. That's all I got for that battle. Let's get into the music for the week. I jumped off my classic battles, and one of my homies from work was telling me to check out that Kanye West. As soon as he said that, I'm like, dog, I'm not listening to goddamn Kanye in 2026, man, because he just be saying bullshit. He's not rapping no more. He's talking about all these different people and how he don't like them and how he's more superior than everybody else. Then you go back to all the interviews he'd had lately. It's like, dog, these last couple of years, it's like, I can't get behind it, especially with you coming at Jigga, man. My favorite artist, and knowing he's done a lot for you, I can't put up with Kanye, man. I like the old Kanye West. This tape right here, I gave it a chance, and I was actually able to find some tracks on here that I enjoyed. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh man, he back," but the numbers is looking crazy right now. They saying like this is a solid album. When you think about it, the last year or two, Kanye been on social media spazzing out, going crazy on people. It looked like he's back in his bag with his music, but to me, this is not. I wouldn't say this is like not a classic album that most would say with other music he done made. So my favorite, I'm gonna give y'all my 5 favorite tracks on here. The tape is called Bully by Kanye West. This tape had, let me see how many features we got on here. We have a Travis Scott feature, Andre Troutman, CeeLo Green, Andre Troutman again, Don Toliver, and Peso Pluma. Hopefully I said that right. 18 tracks on here, 42 minutes total. Let me see what are my favorite songs on here. My favorite tracks on this tape would be, where it go? Punch Drunk. That's probably my favorite song on there. Bully, I Can't Wait, This Is a Must, and probably I'll say Father by Travis Scott. I listened to it a couple of times. This is a cool track. I know he made a video to it. I gotta check that one out, see what the video on. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more. But as far as the tape goes, man, like I said, it's not a classic album to me, at least. It's up there with the Pablo tapes and stuff that he dropped not too long ago, some years back. It's more in that era. I don't think like it don't fall into that top tier Kanye, to me at least. This is more like a tier 3, something that definitely in that middle part. 808 and Heartbreaks maybe at tier 2, but this is tier 3 down there with like some of the lower level Kanye music. But overall, it was a solid listen. It's a couple, like I said, maybe those 5 tracks right there I'll listen to. Those would be 5 that I'll download. But out of those 18, I'll definitely download a couple more. I just hope that this is a sign for Kanye that like you don't have to show your ass to the world. Just get back to making your music, producing music, and everything will be all right. You don't have to do all that bullshit, man. You don't have to talk down on your people. Get behind your people, support your people, and get back to the person that you believe you are. And it's simple as that. But as far as the music goes, my favorite 5 tracks on here are Bully. No. Punch Drunk, Bully, I Can't Wait, This Is a Must, and Father by him and Travis Scott. Those are my favorite 5 songs on the Bully album by Kanye West. If you haven't heard it already, go download it. It's on Apple Music. It's on all streaming platforms. In the comments, let me know what your favorite 5 tracks are. If you have an album you want me to review going into next week, drop it in the comments, drop it in my DM. I'll give it a listen if I haven't heard it already or re-listened it, and I'll let y'all know my favorite 5. That's how we're going to do that. That's all I got for music, man. Let's take a quick break and get back in here for the last topic of the evening. And yeah, we'll get back to it in a second, y'all. Thanks for tuning to Mechee from the Midwest podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just won a brand new car. But hold up, don't go anywhere. Make sure you tune into the Mechee from the Midwest for the grand prize. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, let's wrap this show up for the night. Mechee from the Midwest podcast live right now. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel. If you want to be on the show, you know what to do. Jump in the DM, make something happen on a Thursday night. We can talk about anything. You want to talk about your life, whatever you want to talk about, we'll get into it. Now, the last topic I want to talk about is a TV series I saw over the weekend with my lady. One of my favorite shows growing up, Supermarket Sweep. Shop Till You Drop. The Price is Right. Family Feud. Wheel of Fortune. All these shows were great growing up, man. Just seeing how happy people be being on TV. And on top of that, being a black person in America, you always love to see a black person on TV, especially on a show that's pretty much ran by white folk. This show, Price is Right, seemed like it was one of the best shows ever. It felt like Bob Barker was one of them dudes that just loved every human on this earth. And all this come to find out, watching this damn doc, he ain't fuck with us like that, man. And it ain't even just that he ain't fuck with black people like that. He just felt like he was like a Hugh Hefner type, that he was just on top of the world, that he could do whatever he want. And it landed him into trouble. I'm surprised I never heard about this. Maybe the elders have, but it was just crazy that he was getting away with a lot of shit and the damage he caused to a lot of people. Now, I'm not the type to talk about people after they pass away, but the man was 99 years old when he passed away. all these women that felt like they were disrespected and stuff like that are now safer to say what they got to say. They felt like when he was alive, they couldn't say much because it was like, if I say something, he's coming for me. He's going to sue me or he's going to get me banned from something like that. And that's exactly what happened. As far as the show goes, this show is called, damn, where I just had it. Dirty, was it Dirty? No. Is it Dirty Rotten Scandals? Wait a minute. I think it's called Dirty Rotten Scandals. Dirty Rotten Scandals. It is streaming on the channel E with the exclamation mark, the old school channel. It has 2 episodes for The Price is Right. The other one was Dr. Phil and I think like America's Top Model or something like that. But let's focus on the Price is Right. Bob Barker, back in the days, this cat was he was a fly dude, man, I must say. The women loved him. He was a married man. He got his big break. I want to say what is it? Let me see. I think he was like in his 30s or something like that. He got a big break and he got on TV, a TV show called Price is Right. I think it was a rebrand because the first time they was doing it with some cats and it was okay. But when Bob Barker got there, he switched it up. It was a game show, but then at some point his wife ended up passing. So even while she was alive, he was messing with like different women because with him being so popular, it made him a very popular person that all the women loved him. And so when his wife passed away, he had these what is it called? I can't think of what the actual group called, but it was like models, the Bob Barker models or something like that. We just give it a generic name, but it was like Barker Angels or something like that. And what happened was all these women, I think he had 3 of them at the time, 3 younger white women. And what he would do was they would come out and like, if it's a brand new car or an ironing board or something, whatever you winning, you got them out there modeling off. So it makes a man want to watch the show because like, oh, I'm not just watching because of the games, the prizes and stuff. I'm looking at the women too because they're beautiful, they're in shape, they look like they're at the beach and all this type of stuff. But what happened was he got too big for his bridges and he started being involved with these women. So the first woman he was actually involved with on the team was one of the main women. And they got so involved, years going by and stuff. And finally, she got to a breaking point where everybody was finding out that they were messing around and stuff. And she was getting special treatment that one of his girlfriends, his girlfriend from wherever, she called up there and was like, "Hey, did you know so and so? What's this lady name? Her name is where did it go? Where did it go? Damn, I can't find her name. Diane Parkinson. They were in a relationship. And she just got, I guess, fed up with the way he is treating her and stuff like that. And then finding out he is messing with all these other women. He had an actual girlfriend and she reached out to the show or whatever, to the background people and told him, hey, did you know that he had a girlfriend or the girl that he's messing with, she be messing with other dudes. Like he ain't the only one that's fucking with her. Oh, and on top of that, did you know she was messing with black dudes? That set off something crazy because after that point, he wanted her gone. He was like, I don't like black people because he said that from the show, don't take it personal, but he said that black men have the most disease in the world. As if we some fucking monkeys or some shit. Like, dog, that shit hurt because it's like, damn, I watched this show as a kid. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6 years old watching this show all the way until he passed away. And that's how he judged black people. Like he felt like all black people just diseased monkeys walking around in the jungle or some shit. It was crazy. So at the time they had black people on the show. So in order to clean that up, old girl said, hey, I'm leaving. And on top of that, in their contract, they couldn't work for Playboy or nothing like that. She said, man, fuck Bob Barker. I'm going to pose for Playboy. One got her own chicken, got her own money. He fired her, said, hey, she's off the show. So he moved on to the next girl. this girl, she was a slimmer lady. She gained a little bit of weight, and he is telling her like, "Hey, you need to lose some weight. You can't be standing by no car looking like that and stuff like that." And she started losing weight, and it wasn't enough weight, so he got rid of her. Then, after with all the pressure from them saying that he don't like black people, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna hire a black woman just so they can say, I don't hate black people because I got a black woman on the show now. Put the black lady on the show. Behind doors, they're like sexually abusing her because they're coming up, grabbing her butt or touching her in the wrong places and stuff. Like sexual abuse at the workplace, like it's never a good thing. And this is exactly what was happening. So Bob Barker had a deep past, man. He was just doing some trifling shit, and all these women start standing up for themselves. The Parkinson lady tried to sue him for lying on her character and all this stuff because he was saying like it was a relationship that she wanted, that she asked for, and stuff like that. And all this stuff just kept on going on for pretty much the whole time he was there, 35 years, and eventually all those women, just like I said, it's just a chain, a domino effect. Every woman was just like, no, he was telling me how to do this, or this producer was saying that. So it just became a very toxic work environment. And eventually, after a while, 35 years later, they had to cancel the show. And like I said, he was 99 years old when he passed away. All these women started speaking up, man. I just want to shed light on this because as a fan of a show, it just is disheartening when you hear about one of these cats. I know it was the 60s or 70s and shit like that, but it's like, damn, I didn't know that they felt a certain way about that. And it makes me think about Happy Gilmore, the movie. Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore should have whooped Bob Barker ass that fight. And you know what I'm talking about. If you seen Happy Gilmore, Gilmore got his ass whooped by Bob Barker. That was a scene that Gilmore was supposed to get back at Bob Barker and whoop his ass because somebody in this world knew that Bob Barker was a piece of shit. No, like I said, no disrespect to the dead, man. This is just how I feel about the situation. It's never good when you gotta act like you're so superior that you can just have your way with people, disrespecting people, especially you can't be disrespecting women if you want them on your show. Like it was just crazy, man. So this all the show was pretty much about was all the scandals that he had surrounding the show, the work environment, how ignorant he was. Because even the last thing I'll say about that was with them not having, they didn't have black contestants at one point, and they started screening black people, and they were saying like they would get the black people to act crazy on TV or something just to make an ass out of them. And then one person, they showed a Pacific scene that the lady was so happy she went up like try to give him a hug. Now, if you seen Price is Right, Bob Barker used to hug people, kiss people, try to step behind the little wheel and kiss women and all that stuff. And this black, I think it was a black lady, trying to run up and give him a hug, and he like running away, like, "Hey, don't touch me." So it just showed you like he was really a piece of shit, man. He liked who he liked. He was obviously he is racist in some way. He didn't like black people. He didn't know how to treat women. So this is not a rest in peace to him or nothing like that. I just want to shine light on this situation and this series. If you haven't saw it yet, please go check out Deep. I keep forgetting what it's called. Deep. Deep Rotten Scandals on the E channel. It is streaming now. Like I said, the other episodes I probably watch is Dr. Phil and The Next Top Model. Those are the three on there. But this week I just wanted to talk about The Price is Right. Can't believe it, man. I was so hurt when I was watching that show. Like, damn, I gotta tell my grandma about that shit, man. Because I'm gonna ask her, I'm like, damn, did you know Bob Barker ain't fuck with us like? Well, I ain't gonna say fuck that to my grandma, but you ain't know that Bob Barker ain't fuck with us like that, grandma? Like, come on, man. He's a cornball for the way he was doing people, the way he treated people, man. It's corny as hell, man. But that's all I got for y'all this week, man. Thank y'all for tuning to Meet from the Midwest podcast. Video will be up Friday morning. If you're seeing this now, make sure you like this channel, subscribe. If you got friends that want to talk about certain subjects or see certain topics, have them subscribe to the channel, man. Jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to hear from me, and we'll make it happen, man. That's what I'm here for. I just want to bring people on my platform, get y'all interviews, and you never know where it goes, man, or who might see it.
All black tonight. Shirt says it all. Mechee from the Midwest. Been a long day, but the city stays awake. Hold up. You see that? MFTM in the sky. Guess they're calling.